Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Tournament stage. Tonight, on the next one, we have MidiGuyDP versus TheHaxor. I am S Diesel, and I am joined tonight by Drosy1. How's it going, my man?
It's going great. How about you?
Doing pretty good. I'm ready for this match. This should be a really good one.
Yeah, this is, I believe, MidiGuy's final two matches in groups. And TheHaxor's first two matches, actually. So we should have a much better idea of Group E after these races are over. In fact, technically, MidiGuyDP could clinch a spot in brackets if he wins both of them.
Oh, very nice. So he's definitely going for he's definitely going for the full win here.
But since TheHaxor hasn't played yet, I don't have much of an idea of how strong a player he is. Do you know him at all?
TheHaxor is a very not only randomizer but vanilla runner as well. He's very well versed in this game. So he's been in every tournament so far. He runs vanilla pretty consistently. So yeah, we're gonna have a pretty well even match here, I think.
Sounds good then.
All right, we got the countdown. Should be starting any second, and here we go.
And for the first race, all the worlds will fall in vanilla order, but the levels within the worlds are shuffled.
So Haxor unfortunately already taken a death there, going for the slide, it looked like, right into the tunnel. This stage is really interesting because if you're used to vanilla, you're used to just sliding down on these hills, making it really easy. You can't really do that in Randomizer. There's just so many different enemies you gotta worry about. It's definitely not slidable here.
Yeah, there aren't exactly spinies there in the vanilla version. Now, 1-3, it's worth noting, we've removed the warp whistles. Ooh, MidiGuy takes a death. But we've removed the warp whistles, so you can go to where the warp whistle would normally be at the end of 1-3, though, and get a special item. It'll be interesting to see if either of our runners do that.
Yeah, exactly. That goes for pretty much all the stages that have secret items in them, like the World 1 Fortress, 1-3, that these two are on right now. There is no whistle, but there is a randomized item.
But it looks like TheHaxor is going to go for that item, after MidiGuy did not.
Looks like he's want to take that early advantage of getting an item, which I don't know.
Though Toad still thinks it's a whistle, little does Toad know.
That's true.
Just a mushroom for all that.
So yeah, like we were saying earlier, in these flags, it's pretty much the stages are vanilla within the world. They're just shuffled around a little bit, along with the enemies also are randomized. So you're going to see all of the World 1 stages in World 1, just not in their usual spot.
And there can still be a bit of fortress shuffling. Like, I've seen up to 3 fortresses in World 2 in these settings.
Yeah, that's true, Drosy. They will be able to have more than the usual or less than the usual amounts of fortresses in each world, depending on the seed. This World 1 looks very vanilla, only 1 fortress, and there's a flower in the whistle spot of Fortress 1. Looks like definitely both are going to go for it because they don't need to finish the stage normally. By getting the orb at the end of fortresses, it will either build a bridge or break the lock, depending on the world. In World 1, it's usually in these flags not required unless it's in your way progressively. And in this case, they don't have to go for the orb here.
Yeah, and it definitely saves time by going to the item.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you may also notice, if you haven't been following this tournament so far, 1-4 is usually an auto-scroller in the vanilla game. Well, we've taken out auto-scrolling from almost all the levels. There are only 2 auto-scrolling levels in this randomizer version, which we will point out if we see either of them.
MidiGuy is the first to get to the castle here in World 1. TheHaxor is very close behind him. And
Oh. Yeah. And by the way, that had nothing to do with the Starman. The Starman prevents you from taking damage against the Koopa kids, but doesn't damage them.
Yeah, correct. The star does nothing. The Koopa kids at the end of each world, their HP is randomized between 1 and 5 hits, and just so happens to have 1 hit for the first one.
And you hope to see as many of those one-hit Koopalings as possible.
Alright, World 2 looks like a required fortress right at the start. There's a walking progression there. Without a hammer, they will have to go do the fortress.
And this is just our vanilla World 2 fortress. Though with a few more hot feet than you would normally see in it.
Oh man, those hot feet can be so annoying right in that section. They can just stop your movement and say, well, I guess I'm not gonna run this.
Now the TheHaxor actually got firepower. If he can keep it, he can do a fire kill boom boom. And MidiGuy has triggered our first end card game. Got nice and lucky there with how everything's lining up. So the items are randomized in the game. Just because it says 10 coins and a star, that's not actually what he got. We'll have to look at his item menu to see what he actually got.
Yeah, if he did opt to play for the end card, where MidiGuy looks like he did not, but he didn't actually get that. I didn't see if he got an end card.
Yeah, the end card can be very useful if you get something like a hammer. Or
Yeah,
it can be a total bust.
it could be a total bust, and the only downside to it is that you just waste time doing the end card. Alright, coming up next, 2-1. With some nice little nippers there to get your jump a little bit higher than you planned. And there's a very nice sync going on here.
Yeah, TheHaxor has caught up.
And there you go, just like that. Both are pretty much synced up.
Only MidiGuy got slowed down by a little bit of a race condition between the Hammer Bros.
The old quicksand stage is pretty nifty in Randomizer. Oh, and Midi gets caught in the tornado, which is very unfortunate. He's got to look out for that cheap on the bottom.
Yeah, we get the cheap instead of the sun, but I'll take the cheap any day.
All day. Also to note, coin ships are still in Randomizer, but as you can see, the auto scroller has been removed and gets a hammer out of the coin ship. The reward at the end of coin ships are randomized, so that hammer is going to come in handy. He might end up using it right here, and TheHaxor is going to use it. That's a
Yeah, it's a 2-level skip.
Absolutely. Now, MidiGuy can do the hammer bro that was that coin ship, and I believe it should have that hammer, so we'll see if he either gets in the way of the hammer bro or he goes out of his way to go.
I didn't actually see what the TheHaxor got from that second hammer, bro.
Oh, boss bash right at the start of pyramid here.
Oh boy, gotta stay on the high ground.
Yeah, this one's always rough because half the stage, you kind of have to stay near the bottom, but then you can go near the top here and then just make your way down. If you're not careful though, boss bats can sometimes like scroll upwards towards the top of the screen. It's really.
And yeah, due to MidiGuy's unlucky hammer bro placement, he's still got a couple levels to go while HaxOr is done with World 2.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Because it was right in the way of HaxOr. He had no choice but to do the coin ship. But MidiGuy, as you see, the coin ship is just going further away from him, and he's gonna go back and do that card. All right, but HaxOr is on to World 3 here. Now, this stage is slightly randomized, but the cheeps are pretty much the same in the water here.
I was just going to lament that MidiGuy didn't go for the coin ship because little does he know there's a hammer there and he could potentially make up time in a future world.
Yeah, he's probably thinking he needs to save time right now by skipping them. And in some cases, that can be true, but you just never know what the hammer bros are going to have. Alright, so for World 3, I saw a fortress right down the middle. There's a lock on the Lonely Island over there. There's another fortress above. So we have 2 locks we need to... There's the second lock. So HaxOr is going to have to take a gamble here on which fortress he thinks is going to break that lock.
Yeah, so there's an example of if MidiGuy had gotten that hammer. He could, once he got to World 3, just break that lock and skip the whole world.
Very true. But yeah, he'll find out here soon, and then we'll immediately know which fortress is going to break that lock right before the castle. Nice fire kill on Boom Boom on HaxOr's side. MidiGuy is going for vanilla strats here, very nice. And it looks like it's the second fortress there.
Oh, and those dry bones are dumb. They just walk off the screen and are gone. Nice fire kill on Boom Boom there.
So MidiGuy also sees that he needs to break do one of these fortresses. I didn't even realize that there are actually 3 fortresses here. Wow. HaxOr taking another stab at the end card here. He did get 1 match. And we'll see if he checks to see if it was anything good. And that was the fortress. All right, very good. So yeah, I do believe it's the fortress that MidiGuy is on right now. We'll break the lock right before the castle. And then he'll probably go ahead and check it right away, because he'll see that it did not break the lock in the island, which is actually a really nice little visual cue there. Really good windy kill by HaxOr.
Yeah, definitely
okay.
A good time to have firepower. And a nice flat room like that, too, made it easier.
So I'm pretty sure MidiGuy doesn't have to do this fortress. All right, I think he just realized that, too, as he takes the immediate death. Yeah, he notices that that lock is still on the Lonely Island over there, so he knows that he can check the lock right before the castle and should be.
But he took the wrong pipe. Now he's in the right pipe.
There you go. Pipes can be confusing, especially in 3.
Now, you may have noticed that Princess Toadstool gave us an anchor after World 3. We don't know what the anchor actually corresponds to. The airship doesn't move, so it doesn't need its normal functionality. It corresponds to some other item. You won't find out until you use it, but all anchors in a given seed correspond to the same item.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a wild card item. You never know what it's going to be until you use it. And yeah, its vanilla use has no use. But this World 4 looks pretty, as far as progression goes, they're starting all the way at the right side, and they're going to have to work their way to the left. Yeah, this is definitely one of the longer World 4s you see in randomizers. Anytime it starts you all the way at the beginning, and you got to work your way left, you're in for a long...
And MidiGuy apparently rescued the Hobbit King. I didn't notice that on Haxor's side.
Also, chat pointing out that Haxor did get a hammer, it looks like, from the end card. So there you go, man. Like, a lot of people don't see a lot of worth in end cards, but if you can pull out a hammer or two out of it, it can really change the tide very quickly.
That means MidiGuy should have a hammer.
Yeah, he did get a few matches, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to check the next time he checks his inventory. Yep, there's another hammer sitting in Haxor's inventory.
I'm not sure MidiGuy's checked his inventory at all.
Very nice Lakitu jump there by Haxor using a vanilla strat. That Lakitu is always on this stage as well, so you can always guarantee that if you can do the vanilla strat there, you can still apply it here in Randomizer.
And MidiGuy's taking the lower route in 4F2.
Yeah, I like the lower route, especially if you have Big Mario, you want to keep your power up. Trying to speed through this castle can be kind of a pain. And you also get an item out of it too, so if you're hurting for an item, it does not hurt. And Haxor gets another match there. We'll see what that one is. He's getting a couple matches here. He might be using the card tracker, which is totally worth it. Yeah, he's going to clear it out.
Yeah, because there's still only 8 possible layouts, even if they're different from the 8 vanilla layouts.
Correct. And it looks like he got another hammer. So there was 2 hammers in the end card that we know.
Oh. Did you see what MidiGuy's anchor turned into?
I didn't. Was it Frog?
Yes.
Perfect anchor item.
Now, MidiGuy has to be careful with these pits because he clouded over the previous level, and if he falls into a pit here, he'll have wasted the cloud.
Yeah, you got clouds can be very helpful, especially in Randomizer. You can use them before, or you can use them like heading into the pipe and exit, and then you get your continue point, or you can use it like Haxor did right there. Use it going right into a castle, and then just make sure you definitely don't take a death there, and saves a lot of time. I like to try to use clouds as soon as I get them, but sometimes it's a little helpful to hang on to them, and when you think there's a better opportunity to use them.
And that hammer guy getting in MidiGuy's way turned out to be a blessing because he was able to replace his cloud.
Very nice P-speed strats from MidiGuy. He's gonna actually cut a lot of his lost time here. He's catching up very quick.
Yeah, probably only about a 10-second difference between the runners now.
It's definitely pretty neck and neck so far, but MidiGuy definitely caught up here a little bit within this world. He smashed so quick, I can't see what Peach gave him.
So we know that this fortress is going to have to build a bridge because there's no way to get to the other part of Lower World 5 otherwise. Right.
Yeah, World 5 is interesting in Randomizer. So depending on the first area here, you can either have a pipe that takes you straight to the cloud area, the second area of World 5, or the fort will build a bridge that builds or takes you to the second area of the first screen here. And that's exactly what this one has done. So now the pipe up there is going to take him either to the reverse tower, or it'll take him to the other pipe in the cloud area, but we'll find out when he gets up there. And another hammer. Wow.
These Hammer Brothers have nice rewards.
I'm telling you, man. Lots of hammers in this seed so far. And the end cards and the Hammer Bros, so far there's like 4 that we know. Alright, so the pipe is just a regular pipe. Ooh, yep. Alright, so Haxor's going to take the tower level here. And if you noticed, the other pipe at the other end of the tower is right before the castle. So instead of doing 2 stages and then going down there, you can just do the tower and be right at the castle. So this is actually a really good World 5. And that is pretty much definitely this is definitely like more of a randomizer thing. If it were in reverse order, if the pipe and the tower were swapped, you would take the pipe and it would just take you to like a drop. You just fall down like into a pipe that takes you to the other side of the tower. And there he goes.
Yeah, you fall down into the sky. MidiGuy's thinking.
MidiGuy, no, MidiGuy, no. He doesn't know about the tower.
Realize the logic there.
Yeah, I either didn't realize the tower there would take him right to the end. He could have saved a hammer. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And 20 minutes in, Haxor is through World 5.
So not bad at all. Okay, we're back. My stream is lagging a little bit, but it looks like we're good. Alright, see how this World 6 looks. If Haxor has a hammer, he has a chance to have a pretty good skip here if he wants to break that old rock and see where the pipe leads.
Looks like he is doing that.
That's exactly what he's doing. That's a good play. He has a lot of hammers to use. And there you go. It takes him right to the end. And he's only got to find 1 fortress to do. So that's not terrible. He's got a shortcut right to the end.
Looks like there may only be 1 No, there are 2. Okay, so.
Yeah, there's 2. So there's a lock to the other one. It could be either one of these, I think.
Yeah, and if it's not this one, he just has a couple of Hammer Bros between him and... Oh boy. MidiGuy is on 6-6. Looks like he is getting the heck out of there.
He's on, yeah, the 6-6-6 stage, what I like to refer to as is easily my least favorite. Yeah, cloud it, dude. Cloud it, no problem.
But, like, he should have known because it wasn't random. I mean, the location was randomized, but it said 6 and he's in World 6, so he should have known.
Right, yeah. That's easily my least favorite stage of not only just Randomizer, but vanilla. It's such an unfair stage. Alright, so Haxor is heading straight to the first one here. Or I believe that's actually the second fortress, so it's got to be this one that builds the bridge. Yeah, Haxor
Yes.
going for the D-boost strats here. Now go.
I was just gonna say that this might give MidiGuy a bit of a catch-up opportunity, but no, I think he has too many levels to go through to get to that fortress because he used up his hammer, unfortunately. Oh no, he still has a couple of hammers. Now he's
got a
using
few
one.
of them. Yeah, that's ugh, that's rough, right?
Oh, did it break the lock?
Yeah, I didn't notice, but now he knows that he's got to go do the other fortress now. But yeah, he'll have to do one to get around there. That's not too bad. So it could be a lot worse for Midi. He could be looking at like 2 to 3 stages he'd have to go through to get to that fortress, but he already made progress going the regular way, so he's just got to do this one, then the fortress, and then he's on his way. Oh, that boss bass almost got him. Oh, run!
That was close.
Run! Hot dang. Well, Haxor finishes up World 6. Very nice. He definitely got a nice advantage using that hammer right away. Unfortunately, I mean, for both of them, they had to go back and do the fortress anyways, but Haxor had the knowledge of knowing what was ahead of him, so that gave him a slight lead.
Oh,
And
wow.
look at that.
If you have 2 hammers, you can get right through here. Guess he's looking to see if he has a music box.
See if he has a music box. Yeah, he doesn't. Oh, and he was on a stage as well. Okay, so he's going to do this one, and then the final plant stage, and he's going to right at the end because he's got another hammer to use. And I can't tell you how awesome this is for World 7, because 7 has a bajillion pipes, a bajillion different areas to go to. So you got to go right to the end and have enough hammers to break not only 1, but 2 locks right to the castle. That's going to save him a ton of time wandering around, trying to find the fortresses, doing the fortresses, then coming back. It's a really big skip for Haxor here.
Let's see what the plant level gives us today. Just a star. Because plant level rewards and hand rewards in World 8, just like the Hammer Bro rewards, are all randomized.
That is correct. Yeah, any stage that ends with a reward is completely randomized. And it could be a hammer, it could be a tanuki, it could... Well, I don't know if it could be... Yeah, it could be a tanuki. It could be pretty much any usable item you get in your inventory. Looks like Haxor got another nice fire kill, and both of them getting their respective finishes there, only with a world in between.
Yeah, but Haxor's on to World 8 now. Let's see how many obstacles between him and Bowser's Castle.
All right, let's see how 8 looks here. 4 pipes at the start.
Hopefully one of them goes somewhere good.
Looks like 2 possible forts here. Yes. All right. So actually, hold on. This is not a fort. This is the regular state.
Yes, because the regular tank level ends with a lone hammer bro and not a boom boom. It's considered a regular level and therefore doesn't break a lock or build a bridge.
Right, yeah. So this is like one of the few tank levels that's just a regular stage. And yeah, as you can see, it's just a hammer bro at the end. And he gets a leaf. So Haxor's going to check the second pipe here. He's basically going to be looking... Oh, there's 3 forts right there. So he knows where the rest of the forts are. He knows where all the forts are. Haxor's going to be looking for the one pipe that leads him right to Bowser's castle, and all right, that takes him right to the beginning. In front of Bowser's castle, there can either be a lock or a bridge or a combination of both, and that's when he'll need to come back. Oh, okay. So there's 2 locks there. Actually, there's 3 locks in that screen. Bowser's castle probably has a free pathway to it, as much as I know.
If we can only find it.
Yeah, he's just got to find that pipe, and he's going to have to do this required fortress right here.
And meanwhile, MidiGuy's struggling a bit in 7-9, which has some nasty enemies getting in the way with those cheap sheeps and... But MidiGuy's through 7-9, Haxor's through that stage. We are on to the Air Force.
Yeah, it looks like he's thinking that the pipe is going to be on the left side, or he may have to do all the fortresses to get to the other pipe in the hand room.
And MidiGuy's now found Fort Knox, but he already has flight ability, so he can just breeze through it.
That's always so good. You run into this fort and you already have flight ability. That's so...
Yeah, Haxor's really just taking down all the fortress-type levels here.
Yeah, I don't blame him. He probably feels like he's on a good pace, and he knows he saw those locks. I'm just gonna do them now and see where it leads me. What I'm thinking...
I love how he... I was just going to say, I love how he grabbed that bob-omb as he went down the pipe, and then it wasn't there on the other side.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. You're just running into it. You're holding B, and you just pick it up. You're like, well, you're coming with me. All right, so it's definitely looking like, yeah, this has got to be our pipe to Bowser, and that is one rude World 8 layout. Look at that.
Better get Bowser the first time.
You know, it's the seed that gave us a bajillion hammers, and then it expected you to save them all for World 8.
All told, that wasn't, like, horrible. Now MidiGuy's using his last hammer, and he had a music box to put that flower to sleep.
Alright, let's see what Haxor goes, what route he takes here. He's going to go for the wall clip. He might go a couple attempts here.
Yeah, if you can get it, it saves a huge amount of time, but at a certain point, if you haven't gotten it, you just kind of have to give up. And
very nice.
MidiGuy took a long fall, so he's gonna have to repeat this airship. Doesn't really matter because I think Bowser is going down in the next 5 seconds.
I think you're right, after we just saw Haxor get that wall clip there. Get your GGs in chat, everyone. Haxor has finished the first match of 2. He takes his first win in the tournament as well.
And he records an official SRL time of 32:27.
That was a really good race for Haxor, and Midi's not far behind at all. Yeah, that was a really good first match between these two.
Yeah, so we'll see how Midi does on World 8, how quickly he can find his way through.
Alright, so he notices, hopefully the 3 locks there. You see there's the 2 locks up top. Probably a good guess there. He's actually going to opt to skip those 2. He's going to go ahead and check these other pipes. World 8's interesting because sometimes you just want to check every single pipe to see where it leads, just in case it takes you right to Bowser. And if you ever just get so lucky enough that it's a free path right to Bowser, so you don't have to do anything else. But I mean, a lot of people also choose to do the fortresses right away as soon as they see them because they figured there's a really good chance I'm going to have to do this anyway, so I might as well do it now. So there's a lot of different strategies you can approach World 8 with. It's really how you feel, what you feel more comfortable with. Also depends on your hammer situation, etc., etc. But this World 8 was just really rude in terms of its layout.
Yeah, in this particular case, you just need to plug through Bowser's whole military. But 1 down, 2 to go.
And he's going to go back and check and see what that fortress did in terms of progression. I don't think he actually knows. He probably doesn't know yet, definitely, what pipe he needs. He sees that it did hopefully break up that one up top. Because I think he's checked every pipe so far, so that's the only pipe remaining there.
I think he might have lost track of his pipes. Oh, is he doing this fortress? Oh, unfortunately, no, this fortress does not contain progression.
No, this is unfortunately not going to do anything for Midi. But he's pretty much playing the fortress game right now. Of course, we know which fortresses to go for. He has access to it right here. He's like, well, I know I need to do it, so... Or there's a good chance I'll have to do this fortress, so he's just going to go right for it. See if he makes it. Oh, very nice. Getting the 1 cycle on the P-switch there, that's not easy to do.
Yeah, especially with the enemies that the randomizer can throw in the way.
Yeah, very true. But he is opting to skip the middle one, mostly because he's probably pretty gambling on whether that's a fortress or not, as he knows one of those is just a regular stage, so... I don't blame him. He's going to probably go ahead and head for these other 2, knock those out, and then he'll know that he needs to go up to the top and pass that pipe.
The Air Force is so much easier when it's not an auto-scroller.
I agree. I think as a kid, this was probably the stage I hated the most because it wasn't an auto-scroller. And it wasn't like a typical auto-scroller. It was like a fast-moving auto-scroller. So it makes it a lot harder. And in Randomizer, removing it makes the stage so much easier.
I think as a kid, I never beat the Air Force without a P-Wing.
Yeah. That's the other thing, is I always just save my P-Wing for this level. I was like, dude, I'm not doing this anymore.
Unfortunately, since it counts as a fortress, if you lose all your lives and have to restart the world, once you've beaten it, it's still down.
And there we go. Looks like he found his way. It's going to be on his way.
Does he still have a cloud?
No, he does not. So he's going to do this stage and then Bowser, but we'll get to see what this one is. Oh, no. Well, good thing he had the P-Wing for this one, man. This is, what is this, 8-1? Yeah, this level in Randomizer can be a real pain. Even not in Randomizer, just vanilla, this stage is really tough.
Oh, and he was being too cute by a half with all that bouncing and took a hit, but he's going to use the hammer suit anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yep, he's got plenty of hammers. He's got 3 of them. Both runners had collected a good amount of hammer suits. I think they're both in the from Peach and Hammer Bros and in the end cards. There was a lot. Oh, nice clip. There we go. Gets the first wall clip, allows you to skip through the stairwell here, and then he's going to go for the second one here. First try clip, too. Very nice.
You just have to be a bit careful coming out of that clip not to run into the waffle disc.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to... Oh, no. He overdid. He was a little overzealous there in trying to attempt for wall clip number 3. But he's going to go ahead and take the bottom route here. Yeah, he's going to be very careful. Those statues are, I believe it's random. As to which ones will shoot lasers. Loses the hammer suit. That's okay. He's going to proceed forward and finish up this scene.
And these runners are doing back-to-back races with each other, so once MidiGuy finishes here, they'll take, you know, a little bit of a break and then come back probably within 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yep. So stay tuned. We have Tourney Group 2 coming up next. That will be the more traditional randomized flags you're used to seeing. So stay tuned. That should be really good between these 2. Get your GGs in chat. MidiGuy has finished off Bowser.
Unfortunately, he doesn't quite get the sub 40. He will cross with a time of 40:07.
All right, but we're going to go ahead and get these guys set up for the next match. And just to give you a heads up of what you'll be expecting in Tourney Group 2. So basically, everything you've seen it's going to be completely different. All the worlds are randomized. You could get World 6 first. You can get 3. You can get 5. Go ahead and start getting your guesses in now. What you think the first world will be in the next match. But yeah, we'll be seeing. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, amazingly, earlier in this tournament, we saw all 8 worlds in order. Which is
in Group 2.
5,040 chance.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's insane.
Yeah, I can't believe it, but someone clipped the call of it. But yeah, they had game 2 and all the worlds were still in order.
The odds of that happening are really slim, but yeah, that's kind of crazy because yeah, you have all 8 to worry about. Well, 1 through 7 to be randomized, and yeah, to get them all in order, that's very crazy. But yeah, we'll be seeing the worlds randomized, stages completely random, all that good stuff, and yeah, we'll be ready for match 2 in just a moment. So stay tuned. All right, so we are setting up for the next match. It'll be tourney group 2 between MidiGuyDP and TheHaxor. Haxor taking the first match over MidiGuy. And as I mentioned before, go ahead and get your guesses in on what you think the first world is going to be, as these flags allow the world order to be completely randomized. Got a few more seconds here. Looks like both of our runners are readying up, and we'll be getting the countdown in just a moment. And again, you are watching the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Tournament of 2020. I am S Diesel, and I am joined again by Jurassy.
Hey again.
So this Tourney Group 2 is my favorite flags. These are always what really brings out, the best decision making. On the foot, like you really got to think, very quickly on what you want to do. Your item inventory management, your fort decision making, everything comes really, really key here with these group flags.
Yeah, and you don't have any clue what a level's going to be before you enter it, as opposed to the last settings where
I can't believe
you knew it
I
belonged to
forgot
the
to
world.
mention that. Yeah, exactly. So, like in Group 1, you knew that, okay, you're in World 3, you're going to get World 3 stages. That's not the case in Group 2. You could be in World 4 and get 1-1 or 7F2. It's completely random. Pretty much like maxed out random settings with Group 2. You're clicking every checkbox on the program. So, here we go. And World 5 is our first one. Holy moly, 3 pipes in the first stream, too.
And MidiGuy takes a quick death, and Haxor is actually going to play the level out. Well, actually, they have no choice. They have no items.
Yeah, they have to. He is going to take the pipe here. Always a good call. This stage is really rough. Hey, that's a green leaf. Hello. This stage is really rough in Randomizer, mostly because you've got random piranhas, you've got random enemy sprites to worry about. It's a very long stage also, and especially first stage in the Randomizer, you've got no items. This could be really tough for Midi if he struggles a little bit here.
And the second stage also is totally unavoidable. But this actually comes from World 5. Oh no, my apologies. This is one of the beta stages. We didn't see any in the first run-through.
That's right. That's another thing that I'm sorry, I forgot to mention. So in Tourney Group 1, you actually won't get any lost levels. They're not included in Group 1. In Group 2, though, there are, I think, like 7 or 8 lost level stages. 8 in these flags, and Haxor, and both of them are running into the first one there, which is required. So we do know, we don't see a tower here, so we know that one of these pipes are going to lead to the tower in the cloud area, and that's where they got to go. They got to find that pipe, and it's one of those 2 on the right.
Well, the other pipe was the one that got them across the stream, so they have no way of... They have no way of breaking the lock because neither of the Hammer Bros left a hammer, so they're gonna have to beat this fortress.
I was thinking way too far ahead, dude. So yeah, they have to do this fortress here to break that lock.
This is World 2 fort.
Ooh, the double fire bro, hammer bro fight is never fun. It's one of the worst 2 situations too, because he was on ice physics. The other one is when you have like the little body of water on the bottom and you can't really move that well. That one's always a pain to try to get through.
But now we get to see the Haxor go down through the tower to get to Skyworld.
This is a pretty much full level layout here. He's got to do pretty much the same amount of levels he would have had to do in vanilla to get to the end here. So it's not as generous as it was in the first matchup between these two, where the pipe took them right, or the tower actually took them right to the end. Here, they don't have that luxury. They're going to have to work their way all the way down, which is 4 stages after the tower.
But at least the Hammer Bro trap level isn't too long. Now here's 7-1, if they can just get the clip.
All right, not bad. It was like 3rd or 4th try for TheHaxor. Not bad at all. MidiGuy unfortunately took a death to a hot foot near the end of World 2 Fortress.
And that hot foot's being pesky.
Alright, so TheHaxor, next stage, we got 1-1. It's a stage you'd love to do vanilla, but again, you can't do vanilla strats here in Randomizer due to just the random enemy sprites there going up, trying to hit that P-speed strat.
Yeah, we don't normally have Cheep Cheeps and Paragoombas in 1-1.
Are you sure? I think I maybe remember that from my childhood. TheHaxor going up and doing the end card game here. See if he can get... he was very successful in the first one. He got 2 hammers and a cloud out of it. Maybe a few other things, but yeah, he's definitely going to want to try to play that hand again.
Yeah, this is actually a change from last year's tournament. In last year's tournament, Game 2, the end card game was disabled. So,
correct.
Being a bit friendlier to the runners.
Yeah, they wanted to add it in just to make it a little bit more friendlier to newer players. And, oh, MidiGuy, unfortunately, took a nasty death there to the Hammer Bro.
And he's on his last life.
He's got to be very careful here. If he does die, he will unfortunately have to redo all of the non-fort stages over again, which there are a lot here. TheHaxor getting a hammer from the coin ship there as he's heading onto the castle.
That was a very painful first world.
Oof, I don't know if MidiGuy meant to enter the door there, but he's going to have to do this stage all the way through and not die if he does not want a game over here. That's very, very unfortunate.
Right, most runners would probably take a death here, but you can't do that on your last life.
TheHaxor finishes up the first world, which was indeed a very nasty. As far as World 5 goes, that's honestly one of the worst setups you can get.
Yeah, that's even worse than vanilla.
Yeah, like there's a possible scenario where you can take a pipe from the first screen or first area to the cloud, and then it makes you go back for some whatever reason to the first area to do a fortress. But it's very rare. That's probably honestly one of the worst layouts you can get for 5.
And MidiGuy actually takes the 5 up just to make sure he has a buffer.
That's a good call.
Oh, and he's missing the coin ship, which, again, he thinks of it as a time save, except that the coin ship has a hammer.
Yeah, it's... Oh, there he goes. So, in 2, TheHaxor's going to use the hammer right there on the bottom. That's going to allow him to skip. At least going to have to do the fortress in a couple stages there. So, he's going to get a nice lead. He had 2 hammers in his inventory there. I don't know where he got the second one. I can't remember.
Was it from the Hammer Bro level, maybe?
It might have been, yeah. I know he got
Hammer Bro hand trap.
Oh, yeah. That's what it was. So yeah, he's gonna go ahead and do the end card. Maybe he'll be tempted to go up and do the end card or the coin ship as well. But Haxor using that hammer, oh, yep, he's going to go ahead and do the coin ship, allowed him to skip a couple stages there and go right to the castle in 2. This is pretty quick, too, regardless. The pipe takes you right to the end, and the fact that he had a hammer just made it even easier. Oh, that could have also been from the princess ladder. You mash so quickly through that screen, it's hard to see what you...
Oh, that could be, too.
Alright, MidiGuy making his way to the end of World 5. Finally here, after that very unfortunate start. But he's not too far behind. He can easily catch up to TheHaxor. This is by far from...
Yeah, but a 9-minute world is just ugly. There's no way around that.
Yeah, and a lot of that was just at the mercy of the lane.
And another thing about Game 2 settings is that the Koopaling attacks are all randomly shuffled, so there will be 2 heavy Koopalings, but we don't know which ones. There'll be 2 high jumpers, but we don't know which ones. And if Lemmy happens to be a heavy Koopa, we won't even know. There'll only be 1 heavy Koopa.
That's true. And there we go. We saw that one. That was a Hammer Suits from the World 2 Peach letter. Next up is World 7.
And the famous Door 6 fort.
Oh,
because boy, is that fort short if you take Door 6.
Oh, yeah. MidiGuy with a couple vanilla strats there. TheHaxor took a hit from Boom Boom. That's okay. And then he pretty much went ahead and did the fortress right at the start just to get it out of the way so he doesn't have to come back for it. And he's going to go ahead and clear up this end card. He's going to get a couple items out of it. Okay, so MidiGuy does have 2 hammers. He'll be able to use 1 here. He's going to make a little slight skip. See if he goes after the coin ship after doing the stage here.
Oh, blooper nanny of all things.
Those are the worst. All right, so the path to the castle in World 7 here is going to require a fortress. It needs a bridge to get to the castle. So no hammer is unfortunately going to help TheHaxor here, but he sees the other fortress right here. He already did 1 fortress, so he knows that this one has to be.
And MidiGuy used an anchor to see what it was, and it turned out to be just a plain old mushroom.
Oh, well, that's not too bad, I guess.
I mean, it allowed him to take that hit.
Yeah, that's true. Alright, TheHaxor in the World 6 fortress here. Oh, he might have... that looks a little silly. He's going to go ahead and use the... yeah, he's going to spend 100 coins to go get his P-Wing so he can do some vanilla strats here. I don't blame him at all. He's going to deboost through this section as well. Makes this section a lot faster than having to wait for the thwomps to go through. So it did look like a little slip up that was completely intentional on TheHaxor's side. Alright, so he still looks like he's looking for the pipe that leads him to the end. He knows that he built the bridge. He's got to find the pipe that takes him there. And there it is.
Wow, nice. Well, maybe MidiGuy can find it faster and make up some time. And this is another one of our beta levels. Sort of based on 5.3.
Yeah, this one's very interesting because there's a lot of enemy sprites in this screen, and they are all completely random. So it can cause a little bit of lag, can cause a little bit of chaos, but that's mostly a pretty easy stage to get. So MidiGuy is looking for his way to the end. TheHaxor is finishing up the last plant stage, and he'll be there.
Well, MidiGuy's in the other plant stage now. Gotta be careful though since he's small.
Yeah, that one's one bit more of the tougher one than the last one. You have to take your time a little bit. There's the other hammer that is in this one. I don't think TheHaxor went for that one. Oh no, wait, no.
So.
No, he did. I think maybe he did. Because he had to do this fortress regardless.
It was so weird to see Ludwig doing the high jump, by the way.
And TheHaxor has finished up the third world in Randomizer.
And the king thinks he's the dark elf from Final Fantasy IV.
There you go. Fred is a well-known Final Fantasy IV fan, so you'll be seeing a lot of quotes from there, including you, Spoony Bar. TheHaxor going back for the end card. He wants to clean this up and see if he can get a couple more useful items, hammers, etc.
And MidiGuy found his way to the end here. But he will have to survive the beta level while small. And I don't think there are any power-ups in this level.
No. There might be one up top, but nothing on the bottom. And TheHaxor, I just missed what items he got, but he cleaned up the entire end card. I could not see if he got anything good. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think he did. He got a couple more hammers out.
Yeah, that was a lot of hammers in his inventory.
I saw 3. I know he had 1 on hand. So you must have at least got 2, I think?
Oh, and TheHaxor is an 8-1 now. This is nasty.
Yeah, this is always when a nasty stage, especially in Randomizer. He's got tons of items to use. He's gonna use he's just gonna use a star though. That's all he feels like he needs. And really, yeah, if you can speed through it with a star, I mean that's good enough if you use your vanilla strats here. Oh boy, all right.
Whoa, there's a ghost in the level?
Oh, that was bad. Oh no!
That high jumping Ludwig, you're just not used to that.
Not only the high jumping Ludwig, but he has a really weird hitbox. It's like the entire front half of him, you can get hit by. It looks like you can stomp on him, like the front half of his sprite, but it'll actually count as a hit if you're not careful. Alright, but he was able to get through it, no problem. There you go.
And we will see the special Hammer Mario message from the king.
Alright, so here in 4, TheHaxor knows he has to build the bridge to make another hammer, by the way, in that hammer, bro.
We're gonna have more hammers than we know what to do with.
Exactly. This could be a lot. So one of these 2 fortresses here is either going to break the lock above or make the bridge. I mean, they're right next to each other. This is a pretty free world. Oh, he's got to be a little careful here in this one here. He's going to do P-Speed strats.
Found the Sky Fort / Lava Fort. Nothing like defeating Hammer Brothers with hammers.
That's a very refreshing feeling to do.
Give
Revitalizing, if anything. Yeah, just like, hey, you like hammers? Take this one. All right, so it's the top fortress. MidiGuy can have a 1-stage catch-up here if he goes for the top fortress first.
Yeah, that was just a really inconvenient place for 8-1 to appear.
Yeah, it's pretty consistent with being inconvenient pretty much all the time.
And the Haxor is getting through Boom Boom here, so he will build that bridge now. Built right in front of our eyes.
Alright, so we're going to see which one MidiGuy goes for first here. He's going to take out the Hammer Bro first. Oh, that Hammer Bro was cheating, man. He was clipping in the walls there. He does get the other hammer, so that's good. And yeah, he's going to go for the one on the right. I mean, that's... I guess instinctually, I would go for that one first.
Iggy looks a bit heavy today. So that's one of our 2 heavy Koopalings. And it took, I think, 4 hits, too.
Oh, I'm sorry. Those were Boomerang Bros. My apologies. I gotta get my bros right. Music box from the World 4 letter. 2 pipes at the start of World 3 here. He's gonna go back and check the second one, see where that one goes. And takes us right to the end. He's got 14 million hammers to use, so Haxor is good to go ahead and skip everything in World 4 here. Thankfully, the pipe was right at the start. It very well could have been those first pipes linked to each other, and then the pipe that leads to Bowser be all the way on the right-hand side. Oh no, ground pound Wendy. Look at very nice, Haxor. 5-hitter ground pound Wendy is probably the worst Koopa setup you can get. I think it was like a 3-hitter Wendy, 3 or 4 with ground pound. So
I think that was just 3.
It was just 3, so it could have been worse. But Wendy with ground pound is honestly the worst thing you can face here as far as the Koopa kit.
And fortunately, once MidiGuy gets to World 5, he will also have more hammers than he knows what to do with. Unfortunately, he has to beat that fortress first.
Yeah, he was going for the quick little P-speed strat there to get through it, but if you falter even a little bit on your jumps there... Oh, he did it, unfortunately, again. The thwomp will get you every time if you don't make a clean jump through that hole without hitting the... without hitting the bottom.
Oh, I didn't even see what World 6 is today. Ah, it's World 1. We haven't actually seen World 6, so that must be World 7, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, World 7 will be World 6, the final. And with Haxor still having a couple hammers in his inventory, he could also make a couple skips in that world as well, if the layout is favorable for him.
Oh, nice job by Haxor taking down that Lakitu.
MidiGuy was going for P-speed strats again, but he opted for the item. I don't blame him there, a small mark. He's going to go for the second one, which is a mushroom. Haxor using that cloud. He's going to make quick work of World 1 here as well.
Yeah, Haxor is now just about 2 worlds ahead.
Yeah, just about. MidiGuy can easily catch up, though. I believe he still does have hammers to use as well.
Yeah, he should have plenty of hammers, and he should realize by World 5 this is the time to burn your hammers. Oh wow, very weak Larry.
Yeah, that was a really easy fight there. So yeah, MidiGuy, he'll also be able to do just a quick cleanup here of World 3. use his hammer right before the castle, and he'll be on to the next one as well. And then we have Haxor going into the... Oh, he has 4 hammers, MidiGuy. Yeah, he's got plenty.
Yeah. I'm not sure he'll be able to use all of them, but here's World 6.
Yeah, he will have to find reasons to use hammers there. Haxor going to go ahead and do the first fortress right away. That has no idea what this fortress is going to do, but he's just going to go ahead and gamble and say, I'm probably going to have to do this, so let's just do it.
Oh, Wendy was 4 hits. I guess I miscounted the first time, but MidiGuy does a great job with her.
Yeah, that ground pound Wendy is no joke. Like, it looks like you can just time your jumps, and for the most part, that is it. But if you mistime one jump and you get stun locked, it may as well be game over right there.
Yeah. Ooh, and that built a bridge right there.
Hello, Atlantis. Welcome to Atlantis, everyone.
So remember I said at the very beginning there are only 2 auto-scroll levels. This is one of them, a beta underwater level. Due to the diagonal scroll, we just couldn't get rid of the auto-scroller.
Yeah, MidiGuy doing nice P-speed strats through this level. Very nice, quick and clean. Good on him. He's going to catch up a little bit, hopefully, here. He's only 1 roll behind and 1 stage and a castle behind until he gets to the same one here.
Wow, we are having a lot of... Oh, no, this is still Atlantis. God, I forgot just how long Atlantis was. I figured it had to be another level by now.
Oh, he's got to be careful here at this blooper. Alright, he's good. Yeah, Atlantis, if you can skip it, skip it. But if you got to go through with it, man, you are in for a... Alright, so Haxor proceeding on through 6 here. Oh. It looks like he's going to go back, break the rock, and take the pipe over. And that'll give him a little skip there. He may have to come back and do the fortress anyways for progression later on, but he's just going to... I mean, he's got so many hammers, he may as well. Oh, someone in chat asking about the color palette. Oh, it's right to the end. Very nice. There it is.
Wow. I was about to say for the first time in a while they're in the same world, but that's not gonna last long.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, you were saying about the color palette?
Well, yeah, Mario's color palette changes because of there's an option in the randomizer to change it on every screen transition, every time you die, take a hit, etc. It's just a option in the randomizer, so you'll be seeing Mario take different colors all the time.
Sometimes he just kind of looks like Luigi.
There you go. Green Mario. MidiGuy, I think he might have a cloud, so he's going to take the immediate death here. Yes, he does. So he can skip Atlantis, which is super clutch. He's going to go ahead and do the first fortress. He'll notice that it will make the bridge right below him, which isn't... it's not necessary at all. So, but he's hoping that this fortress breaks a lock or makes a bridge later on in World 6 here. But Haxor has finished up World 6. He's heading on to the final world, World 8.
With the king who is a fan of When Harry Met Sally.
It's very true. Oh, first stage, hand stage, getting grabbed there. And a boss bass.
Oh!
Haxor's feeling very generous for boss bass. He wants to give him a nice meal. That first was the appetizer.
That was a well-fed boss bass.
All right, oh, he's going for dessert, man. He's got appetizer, entree. Where's the dessert? Ah, there it is. Is he going back for seconds? No, he's not.
Okay,
All right.
he made it.
All right. The first pipe takes him to airship here, which is another fortress. He's gonna just go ahead and knock him out as soon as he gets to him. I don't.
And again, he's lucky enough to be in Fort Knox with flight ability.
Yep. He instinctually thought, well, I haven't ran into it yet. It's a fortress. I might as well just P-wing. It could come in handy. And what do you know? It came in handy. Meanwhile, MidiGuy did go ahead and do the same thing that Haxor did. Use the hammer on the rock. Got him right to the end of World 6. So he's not too far behind. Nice PC strats through the World 7 airship.
Yeah, at this point it'll really be who can find their way through World 8 faster.
Okay, so he's got to use the hammer there. Might as well. He has no other use to hang on to him. That'll take him to the pipe right above that, which takes him to the other side of the dark room. He's going to check the
Where
pipe.
this is going.
Yeah, on the right-hand side, which takes him to the bottom right of the dark room. He's going to use his other hammer. So there should be another pipe here. I think maybe on the other side of this the stage.
And this was the tank that's treated as a regular level, so it's behaving as 5-3, and Haxor is having none of it.
No, he's not going to have any of that. MidiGuy also getting grabbed. Oh, he's going to go ahead and not feed Boss Bass. He says he's ate enough today. I'm just going to... Oh, never mind.
He decides to drown in the quicksand instead.
Yeah, he's unfortunate there. But yeah, he's going to go ahead and... Oh, he got it past it, too. Alright, Haxor going up to the first fort he was able to run into in the hand stage area. And we'll find out. I'm assuming it's going to break the lock on the left-hand side of the hand room here that MidiGuy is in.
And they are in the same level.
They're in the same level, yeah. If the pipe on the left side of that lock takes it to Bowser, they're really, really close to each other now. MidiGuy's made a huge leap. And yep, nice. Sure enough, there it is.
Nice statue strats on Boom Boom, by the way, on Haxor's side.
Middle hand stage 1-3. I don't think he has any clouds to use, so he's got to go through all these stages till he gets to the end there. I don't believe MidiGuy has any clouds either, so they're going through every stage they run into. They're going to pretty much... But yeah, just like that, Midi was able to catch up. If this is our pipe, which I believe it is. And then, yeah, potentially... Oh, there's 7F2. I know we haven't seen it.
Piranha Fort.
Could potentially see 2 more stages, or another stage after this if Haxor gets grabbed by the hand stage. I love seeing P-Speed strats to this level. It's so good. Yep, it's going to go ahead and take the D-boost here. It's a lot faster than waiting for those enemies to clear out. And we'll see after this where that pipe should take him right to the end.
And MidiGuy took a leaf for 1-3 here.
Haxor got grabbed. He's definitely going to want to take a death here. Yeah, he's going to run right into a blue... Oh, cheap. Or, no, actually, he's going to finish the stage. Okay. He must not feel lucky with his 50-50 chances of getting grabbed there, so he's like, I'll just finish it. Whatever.
And MidiGuy's right on his heels now doing Piranha Fort himself. This is a much closer race all of a sudden.
Yeah, if MidiGuy does not get grabbed, it'll be really close. And there you go, right to the end, nothing in the way. Hammer pursuits, TheHaxor's on his way to
So it's still TheHaxor's race to lose, even if a much closer race.
Yeah, it like TheHaxor had a almost 2 world lead on Midi, and he was able to catch up just by making the right move.
But Midi is right behind him in Bowser's Palace.
There it is.
But
Another
Midi
clip.
did not take a hammer suit. He must have had one with all the items he had.
I know he used a couple of his already, so that he may not have any left.
Oh, that's unfortunate then, but he wasn't going to catch up. TheHaxor does an excellent Bowser. Yep. Get your GGs in chat.
GG's in chat, everyone. TheHaxor takes game 2 as well, with an official time as he enters the door of 34 minutes and 3 seconds. GG to TheHaxor. This one definitely ended up being much closer than we thought it was going to be. And they both pretty much were pretty even throughout the way. There was never really a huge blowout in any way. So really good match between these two.
Yeah, no, this one was nice and close. Unfortunately, MidiGuy lost that firepower, so his Bowser fight will be a bit longer. But if he had kept that firepower, it probably would have been within a minute of TheHaxor.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are joined by our victor, TheHaxor. GG, my.
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Man, both of these seeds love to give you hammers. I'm sure you really enjoyed that.
I did, yeah. The hammers were nice. I didn't enjoy having to play Atlantis the second seed. I was like, oh man, come on.
Yeah,
like,
that was interesting.
Get your GGs in chat for MidiGuy as he finishes up with an official SRL time of 35 minutes, 18 seconds, about a minute and 15 seconds separated these two on the second match. GGs.
I actually almost died in Atlanta, so by the
saw
looks of it, I would have
that,
lost if I would have died. Yeah. So,
right near the end, that blooper was coming for you.
I don't believe this, but like, I played some seeds today. I got pulled in by every single hand. I ended up having to play every hand except for that first hand. And it took me 4 tries to get by it, right? I died like unbelievable, dude. Like,
you gave a very well-fed boss bass, let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the boss bass. I'm like, all right, I'll do it for Chad. I mean, they'll get excited about this. I'm sure I'll just feed him like 3 more times before I get past the
you gave him the appetizer, you gave him an entree, you gave him dessert. Man, he was well fed.
Yeah, that was something else. I mean, I just played 3-1. I'm like, dude, I'm not going through this crap again. Like, this level's not that long. I'll just play it, whatever.
Yeah, I figured that's what you were thinking. Like, do I really want to gamble more hand grabs? I'm like, I'll just finish it. But we are also joined by MidiGuy, GG, my.
Hey, GG. Whew.
Yeah, GG, dude.
So
that's.
Yeah, go ahead.
That second seed started so badly for me.
I mean, it was just a rough couple of mandatory levels at the beginning. There's no way around that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm guessing you ended up clouding Atlantis, if I had to guess, right?
I did, yes. I wasn't even sure if I had a cloud too on top of that.
Yeah, I think we got 1 cloud. Was it from the? It might have been from the end card. I don't remember. I think the end card gave 1 cloud and then like 2 hammers again, and then everything gave hammers. So.
Yeah. I believe he gave 2 hammers and a cloud, and that was the only cloud in the second CD.
Dang. Well, that was pretty crazy. The second race for me, I had so many deaths. I think I had died 6 or 7 times in the first world, or or at least 5 or something. It
Yeah,
was rough.
that World 5 layout was not fair. It had you go through a ton of stages. The first stage was a nightmare to do Small Mario, and that was not nice.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, I actually
crazy.
didn't die until the hands, and then I had to die a bunch because they just kept pulling me in. I'm guessing you must have just got past them because I had to die 3 times in the first hand just to get past it.
For me, at starting the second half, everything was like the planets were aligning for me during the second half of that whole thing. World 5 and 6, I think I did in like 3 minutes, and then the 7th one, I clouded Atlantis, and then saw, okay, I could just hammer this rock. The locks are all here, the forts are all here. I could just skip right away to the ship, and on top of that was the pipe was right at the end, and then World 8. Once again, clouds were aligning. I went the right way, got lucky with the hand. I didn't get, I only got grabbed once at the very beginning on the first hand stage, and then I got through it. The
Okay.
second hand in the way of that last pipe, I didn't get grabbed. And then when I saw Bowser's Castles, I'm like, oh my goodness, whoa.
Yeah.
Is this a comeback
yeah.
reel here? Jeez. Oh,
I
my
had to
goodness.
I had to explore World 8, but I knew that the airship was on the last screen because it wasn't anywhere else. So I wasn't really I knew exactly where I needed to go because I had explored everything. I'm like, okay, so you have to cross the hand bridge and play 3 levels. Great.
Took a
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah, now I know it felt like it was forever ago, but in that first seed, World 8, might have been one of the worst layouts I've ever seen. The seed gave you a bajillion hammers to use, and it's like it felt like
Yep.
it wanted you to save them all for the end because of the
Yeah.
layout of the locks. Where like that was an absolute nightmare to go through.
Yeah, I mean, if I'd have played one more end card, I guess, like, it would
Yeah.
have been a free world. You could have just hammered straight to the castle, right?
Yeah,
pretty
because
much.
yeah, in that section, it was the 2 locks that were in the way, and it took you right to the end. But yeah, I that's one of the worst layouts I've seen for 8.
God dang, it was nuts. The second World 8 too. If it's like either you take a chance or you play it safe and just look through everything else, or what seems a little faster kind of thing. I figured I was behind after the shenanigans of World 1, so I just took a chance with that particular route and just prayed that it brought me to Bowser, and it did.
That
yeah.
actually did it did bump you up a little bit because Haxor was on his way to the last fortress as you were just entering the hand stage. So Haxor was searching around, and you just made a bolt straight for the hand area, and that did give you a little bit of a catch up right there. So yeah, that did help you out.
Dang, that was a real good race. At the beginning, I felt like I was probably pretty far behind, but I was like, oh no, I can just keep going. Never know what's gonna happen. Of course.
I mean, yeah, I had a really good start. I was like, I had a good feeling that, you might have been struggling. When you play stages like that, I'm just like, okay, if I'm not dying here, and I know these stages are hard, so there's a good chance that, you might be struggling on it. But once the seed progresses, I hated how both seeds were because I prefer really hard seeds instead, personally, because when I see a bunch of hammers, I'm like, well, that means we're going to play a lot less stages. And for me, we should play more stages because that's, the best chance. If I make one routing error, I feel like, I'm just so far behind.
Yeah, in the first seed, actually, that when it comes to routing, I know for a fact I made a really bad routing mistake. In World 5, there was a lock, and I was like, okay, I could get to this other stage, but I didn't realize that the Spiral Fort was right on the other side, which could have brought me straight to the end of World 5. I'm like, oh, geez,
Yeah,
not only did I waste the
we
hammer,
were noticing that.
not only did I waste the hammer, but I played an extra stage on top of that. Oops.
Yeah, that unfortunately didn't help, but that's just it's one of those things. Like the second you see the world map, you have to take a quick, really quick glance at everything, and notice where everything is. But if you go too quick, and I do this all the time, I won't look at the world map long enough to actually see the layout, and I'll just go to the closest stage that I see, and then it ends up biting you if you don't pay attention sometimes. So it happens to everybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. I've like learned to just slow down, take a look at the layout. What, you know, do you see any forts, obstacles, and then try to like make a mental note or something.
Yeah, hard agree. Well, anything else from you two guys?
Real happy with is that I managed to memorize the end card really good this time.
I would like to say both of you guys killed the end cards in both of your races, and Haxor cleared out, I think, at least 2 sets. Wow. He cleared out 1 set in the first one, and then he cleared it out again in the second one. But yeah, you as well, Midi. You guys were really good with your end card usage, and as someone who's a proponent of someone who really likes to use the end cards, I mean, you guys are really good with those.
Yeah, you guys were just both loaded with items by the end from those end cards.
Loaded.
Yeah, and it gave good stuff. Like, it ended up being definitely worth it. Sometimes it's not, you know, you take a risk, but I kind of figure, like, I'll play the end card if my opponent is. If my opponent's not, sometimes I won't, because it's like, but if it's worthless, then I'm gonna lose because they're not playing the end card.
Yeah. Well, if you wind up against Classic, then you know to skip them, most likely.
Yeah, exactly.
He usually skips them, usually. But he might do something different this time, who knows?
Although I think a lot of people, or more people, skip them in the bracket stages too, since, you know, you can't break locks with hammers, so it kind of gets a little trickier.
Yeah, very true. Your complete strategy changes once you get to brackets, so it's always one thing you have to look for.
I got a long way to go, though. 4 more matches.
Yeah, well, 2-0 start, not a bad place to be.
For sure.
Oh yeah, I feel pretty good. So yeah, thank you guys for doing the commentary. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to kind of watch it back and just you know, see what kind of stuff that I did wrong, I guess. I played a couple extra levels, but not too many.
Right, yeah. I mean, for the most part, you both played exceptionally well. I mean, the really only thing Midi did wrong again was the tower stage, and other than that, it all came down to execution and hammer usage and all that. So yeah, definitely watch this one back. It was really, really good to these 2 matches. So definitely, you guys should be pretty happy about your performance here.
Many thanks.
All right, very good.
Yeah, just to summarize Group E here, MidiGuy's best chance now is he's 3-3 in the group, so right in the middle. And his best chance is if the TheHaxor just powers through and sweeps Gimp Extreme as well, then MidiGuy and Gimp Extreme could have to have a tiebreaker because they'd both be 3-3 for the second spot in brackets.
That's not bad at all.
Yep, we'll see if that happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah, wait, how does that work? Is there a tiebreaker, or do you just play off a game, or how does that go?
I'm not sure. I think there will be a tiebreaker. I'll have to ask Pro on that. I want to say there will be a tiebreaker. I think we had that last year, if I remember correctly.
Gimp Extreme, though, is saying in chat that he will beat the TheHaxor at least once and avoid a tiebreaker.
Hey, I respect that, man. You got to call your shot sometimes.
Hey, and he said it in Twitch chat. It's in history forever.
It's been said.
Like, imagine if he doesn't now. Everyone's gonna be like, oh,
can't look to you for telling the future anymore.
Well, very good. So I do want to really quickly mention the next upcoming matches we do have scheduled. This is the last one for the night, but we will be back tomorrow night at 10 p.m. again. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. 3 p.m. tomorrow. Yeah,
there you go.
Sorry, I was looking at the match we're doing now. Tomorrow, Saturday, 3 p.m. between GamerCal and Johnny Link. And then we also have one immediately following that at 5 between Human Mustard and Zodiac Dread. Man, that's going to be a good one. And then we got your boy Teeks and Ryko Router at 9 p.m. So we have 3 separate matches tomorrow, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and 9. All 3 of those should be really, really good. And then, of course, leading into Sunday, we have another one at 8 o'clock. But yeah,
there's a ton of good ones tomorrow. I'm excited, man.
Tons of good ones. Absolutely.
And do check the SpeedGaming schedule because they haven't been assigned channels yet, but we expect they will be broadcast here on the SpeedGaming network, which is also a good time to point out. Do follow the SpeedGaming channel, SpeedGaming and SpeedGaming 2 through 6, where we are restreaming as many of these matches as we can.
Absolutely. I think with that, we'll go ahead and start closing it up. If you two have anything else to say, go right ahead.
I'm good.
No, I think that's it. Thanks again, and really, really good matches, MidiGuy, man. Especially that second one. That I almost died in Atlantis. You almost overtook me because of that. So, yeah, good luck, man.
Yeah, both of you definitely go watch these back.
Yeah, so thanks again to our runners, and please do give them a follow. There's plenty of tournament left here. And thanks to my co-com S Diesel, it was great working with you.
Hey, absolutely, Drossi. I look forward to our next commentation.
Sounds good. And as we near midnight here in the Eastern Time Zone, I think it's time to sign off and have a good night and a good weekend.
All right, everybody, have a good one. Thanks again, and have a great one. Good night.
Take care, everybody.